Momentum, this is something we all did together. It's obviously a group effort, and the people that I've met along the way, the relationships, the most extraordinary women, we all get to know who we are, where we came from, where we're going, and the beauty of what Judaism gives to us. I grew up in New York, and I was a Reformed Jew, and in those days we went to Sunday school and Hebrew school. There were movies about the Holocaust. We went to synagogue on holidays. I love the music. To this day, it's what makes me feel home and connected, but that was it. We all left Sunday school with no knowledge of our Judaism, our heritage, our religion, and then sent out into the world. I always felt really deeply Jewish, even though I grew up in a non-Jewish town. I had one Jewish friend, but in 10th grade I went to Jewish day camp. 12th grade I heard somebody talking about Israel and it sounded exotic, so I lived on a kibbutz for 2 months. In college I went to Israel for my junior year. I have no idea why. Then you go out into the working world, and my husband was working on Yom Kippur for the first 2 years. And I didn't know why, but I knew that there's something not right about that. So we started learning. And once you start learning, you really can't stop. You learn that the Torah gives you guidance on everything in your life. So you're striving, you're growing. And those are the kinds of things that we've tried to bring to our family life, to our kids, to our Shabbat table. There's nothing like sitting at a Shabbat table with your whole family. It's a time that the family gets together. It forces you to connect to each other. It forces you to hear stories about the week when you might not otherwise feel like you have time. And I think that's what I've tried to do with my kids, because I didn't have that. I didn't have the Shabbat dinners. My mother made beautiful, delicious challah, but never served it to us. She would bring it to the synagogue. So we have challah on Friday nights, and we fill the house with those beautiful smells. The table is set. And I think it creates that connection that we all crave and that we need. When the kids were younger, we would do Shabbat dinners, and they would complain and they didn't want to be there, and you want to stop. And then I remember one Shabbat dinner when they were younger, I was tired. And of course, they complained, when is dinner? Who's coming over? Where are the guests? So there's your clue that you're doing something right. Momentum is a wild ride. 8 women came together from different backgrounds. We were diverse in every way. For me, that's what I think the magic was. But it's also challenging because you're diverse. You're bringing different things to the table. And I was ready to just throw it all in. And Brian said to me, "Mom, you can't quit now. This is too important for the Jewish people, and you will always regret it." And I think he was maybe 11 or 12 at the time. And I thought, okay, that's how he feels, and he must be right. In the beginning, when we first started, and people would ask me, "What are you doing?" And there was no way to describe it. So I would say in retrospect, it is about learning about our heritage and about ourselves and our Judaism and all the things that the Torah has to give to us. And it really is a guidebook for our lives. One thing that we're trying to do is give and share this magic with other women in the world. One of my favorite stories is about a woman who was on a trip. She had recently gotten divorced. So at the end of the trip, she went home and she said to herself, "I'd been doing it wrong the whole time." So she spent the next year working on herself. She reached out to her husband, cried, and they started dating again, and they got remarried. And they are together still and raising a beautiful family together. I'm honored to be part of something so much bigger than any of us now. We've impacted so many women's lives and families and relationships. It's something that we did together, but to know that it had just a little piece in that is indescribable. And I feel like it is the one legacy that I am leaving in the world. Everybody wants their one thing. This is it for me, and I'm very proud of that.